Mr. Francavilla here again for a continuation of our previous lesson 22, which was cut off due to technical errors. Sorry about that. So I'm going to finish my explanation on the Francis Bacon letter in this lesson 23, where I'm giving you hints at techniques that Francis Bacon uses to manipulate the king. Remember, you guys were not answering you weren't getting the meaning of this letter. Francis Bacon is in jail. I mentioned that in the previous video. He is trying to persuade the king, for whom he previously worked, to let him out of jail. Okay? Well, it could be very dangerous. Could be executed. He's hoping for that not to happen too, because a lot of prisoners in the Tower of London were eventually executed. In any case, he is trying to influence the king, and I was mentioning that this is a technique. Okay, this word relate in the same way that these two words relate. Obvious to see what they are, and there's a technique name, which is a scheme type. It's nice to identify the technique, the name of it, the type, refer to it, but that's only a start. You must explain how it's working, all right? What does this word have to do with this word? It's pretty obvious to see how these are related. Same down here. So explain how they're related. That's explaining how the technique works. But what's its purpose? How is it influencing the king? You've got to explain that also. And then there's this third technique in the paragraph. Right here, this wording versus this wording. It's easy to see that this wording is not the same as this wording in some fashion. There's a name for that. It's a scheme, but what type? You have to find out. And why does Francis Bacon want to make this kind of change that he does from here to here? That's how the technique works, if you can explain what's happening that you can see with the words here. But then what's the purpose? How is that supposed to influence the king's thinking? Okay? The same thing that happens here, from here to here, is supposed to happen in the king's mind. See if you can figure that out. All right, now I'm going to show you a model paragraph. I think it's just a paragraph that a student wrote last year on this passage. You're not going to copy it, but it's going to help you to see. The point of this letter by Francis Bacon is to get King James I to forgive him and have mercy. It starts trying to accomplish this right away, jumping in with the alliteration of the M sound many times throughout the letter. Eventually, the reader can understand that through that alliteration, Bacon is saying that His Majesty can end his misery by working a miracle as an act of mercy. It cleverly works his main idea into key words linked by alliteration. Didn't like the wordiness. Also throughout the letter, Bacon refers to God multiple times and consistently links God to the king when he writes. All right. So also Bacon consistently links God. So avoid this wordiness. I don't want to show you too much more because it will give away the ideas that I want you to figure out, but it shows you how to write, and it gives you some of the answers. So I think that's enough for now. You do the rest on your own. Write the two paragraphs, one on how Francis Bacon uses schemes. You're writing the present tense, and one paragraph on how he uses some other type of techniques. Diction, figurative language, sound devices, any combination of those is fine in the second paragraph. So just start with the topic sentence, which is the purpose of the paragraph, which is showing the purpose of the techniques. Give me a focus just start in on examples, and then start to cite the examples using some excerpts, and then explain how those are working, a fashion that, like, how they are created also conveys the idea that is supposed to happen in the king's mind, all right? All right, do your best. Thank you.